Hi everyone, I'm Deepika Trehan and you're watching us on a web series of Corporate Diva participants called Diva is a Mindset. And today we have with us Hima Bindu. She's an out-and-out corporate woman working with IBM for ages, and I'm really looking forward to this conversation with Hima. Welcome, Hima.
Thank you, Deepika.
Hima, so you know what? I've interacted with you several times, and I've noticed that your journey is unconventional. Would you like to share with us what's so unconventional about your journey?
Oh yeah, sure. So I started off when I was, how do I put this across? So when I grew up in a conservative and an orthodox family, so a lot of pointers really show up through my journey as to why I call it unconventional. So learning dance in my family, I was the first one to do it. There was nobody ever took over this line of art form of dancing. I'm a classical Bharatanatyam dancer. Alongside it, I started doing psychology because that was my interest. We moved on. I had to take up a job. Again, a woman taking over a job was something that came as a part of my journey and something that we had to do. During the job, it came to a point where I had to move from HR, which was closest to my psychology as a domain, into IT services, proper technology services during my mid-course post-maternity. So again, that's another unconventional path I took over. From there on, it was a personal shift again, where I had to take a plunge along with my journey of working in the IT services, also becoming a single mom. So I do call it unconventional, but I call it adventurous and quite fulfilling so far.
Wow, that is in fact, an unconventional journey coming from a conventional mindset and upbringing. But tell me something then, what got you to Corporate Diva? Because most of the times Diva has its own cliche of the way it is being perceived, right? So tell us a little about your stint with Corporate Diva and where do you see, what are the leadership takeaways that you'd like to impart to women across the work sectors?
Yeah. So Corporate Diva happened as a blessing, I should say. When you work in a corporate company for a time, you end up looking at the ways of working of that company. And my stall in IBM has been for like almost 14 plus years now. So it came to a point where I started saying, I think there is something I'm missing, something I think I need to introspect and see. What are those qualities that I need to still learn and move forward with, right? So I had this idea in mind. I wanted to come and put that across, and I went through this Corporate Diva journey with the How Forum, where I realized quite a lot of things that I think to some extent mapped up to what I was believing in. And it looked quite easy and important as well that I start giving it a little more practice. For example, one thing that I learned from Corporate Diva is to, first of all, believe in what you are, what your vision is, right? You need to have a vision. And once you start believing it, come what may, I think acceptance comes in. So I think change as such was something that I used to kind of make me sit back, and I would not take it forward thinking of whether I'm going to be able to achieve it or not. I think going through the journey with Corporate Diva, change, I came out saying change is great. Just embrace it. It just brings a better version of you. And leadership aspects, which is also very critical when you're going through this journey. You need to be a student throughout your life. And being a student, being inquisitive, keeps you aware of what's happening around you, rather than believing in what you're thinking is right. and not keeping an open perspective. The second thing is, when you get into leadership positions, you should not fear risk. You need to be able to take risk, crisis. You need to be able to be in the middle of crisis to take charge, because those are the areas where they really look forward for leaders. And you must not fear taking that risk and taking that plunge to really stand up for your team, or even stand up and take charge of the situation, right? The third thing is, you must ideally have an instinct within you to enable others, right? It's not about standing in front and leading the team. It's always being at the back and making your team move in front. I think that is something I also think is very critical as we grew up into the leadership chain, because the team looks up to a leader who is standing with them and enabling them to move forward. With that, I think these are the key takeaways for every woman who are trying to move up to the leadership chain.
Fabulous.
That's how corporate works.
Amazing. So tell me in one line, if your one key message to people on change would be, what would that be?
Just embrace it. It is gonna give you the best version of you that you yourself wouldn't have ever imagined. I can't explain how thankful I am for every change that comes across. I think accepting it is the first thing that you should do. Do not resist it.
Awesome. That's really, really powerful. And last but not the least, Hima, lockdown has been an uncomfortable change for all of us, So what would be your parting message on lockdown and identifying opportunity in adversity, if there is? What's going to be your call on it?
I think lockdown is turned out to be pleasant for me. Let me be honest. I know this is a little off, response from what most of us keep hearing. I think I've taken this lockdown very positively. I've exploited it. That's how I can say it. I've started to look and keep a routine that I never used to have before. I started to do a lot of things that I love the most and I never had time to do. Examples like gardening, cooking, and being with my son. I always was thinking, being a working woman, it's important for you to give time to your kids. And that guilt is always there, you cannot get rid of it. But I think this lockdown has pleasantly helped me in many ways. Keeping that routine was important, right? It will keep you going. Meditating for a minimum of 20 minutes. Everybody should. Ideally, they say it's 1 minute equal to your age. So if you are 36, you do 36 minutes. That's how much time you really have to sit with yourself. When Earth is taking this chance to heal itself during this lockdown, why not us use that time and heal ourselves? Understand where we are going right and where we are going wrong, and see how we can improve that. And there are so many skills, and there is this small kid inside you, okay? So don't lose that kid, because you lose that kid, you will really not know how to hold your peace within yourself. You can't do anything better to others when you don't know how to keep yourself sane in one way. So I think lockdown has taught me a lot of lessons, and I'm pleasantly very happy that we are going through this journey of lockdown, and I'm with my family.
Wow. I think those were really, really powerful messages, powerful in terms of your own self, your own journey, in terms of leadership and leadership qualities, in terms of change management, and of course, building resilience and staying calm through the storm. So on that note, thank you so much, Hima, for joining us. This was really, really an enriching conversation, and thanks for being one of our corporate divas.
Thank you so much, Deepika, for this opportunity.